are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You are listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Monday, 9/11/2023. Can't believe it. It's 22 years later. I used to do an anniversary show, but YouTube didn't like one of them. So I said, I'm not going to talk about 9/11 that way again, and haven't done one since we started Goof On. So it's a very touchy subject because it gets me fired up. And 9/11 for me, I was right in the thick of my prime and too old to go to war and too stupid to know the law. I don't know. It was a weird time. Right after it happened, for about a year, everybody was cool to everybody. People were nice. It was just totally different. There was a really unified feeling across the nation. I mean, I'm only in Arizona. I did visit California at the time as well. People were really cool there. But, just talking to people, knowing people like I knew in Florida, New York, Texas, And they were saying the same thing. Yeah, man, it's real passive over here. It's, crime's down. People are letting me in traffic. Okay, all right. We all saw each other in everyone's eyes that event did that. We saw that we are all vulnerable. Whatever you believe happened that day. Of course, I believe the conspiracy more than the government's official explanation for what happened that day. So everybody knows the lingo, the verbiage. I'm preaching to the choir over here, aren't I? Today, even though it is 9/11, didn't want to focus on it because everything's flooded with it. And, to this day, I could still cry just thinking about watching what I did. Like, I'm getting emotional now. It's very strange how that does that to me. And many of you, I know I've spoken to a few of you, emailed. So, we all saw one another in each other's eyes, I think. America was cool. America was hurt. But we pulled together. And then the lie about a lot of things happened. When went to war. Weapons of mass destruction. Huh? Oh. Don't want to tell you what I think happened. I'll have to go to Rumble for that one. So tonight I decided we'll get our minds off 9/11. For those of you, day's almost over anyway. Well, and I was sitting there thinking in the hospital, I'm like, what would be fun to talk about? And it was really hard for me to come up with stuff that we haven't already done. But I was thinking of, hey, man, we don't have flying cars for sale yet. Yeah, 300,000, got it. I'm talking commercial use like it is in Back to the Future Part 2. Why'd I choose that movie? Well, we'll talk about other movies. That one, to me, is just one of the big pop culture movies that everybody knows. It's easy for me to talk about and make my points. So they got a lot of stuff wrong in that movie. And I'll even play a few seconds of the movie here and there, and we'll look at a few things visually. And no hoverboard. Nope. We never had power laces either. It's all in the thumbnail, I know. But the funny thing about Back to the Future Part 2 was when it's 2015 and they get a fax. Yeah, we stopped using faxes long before that because of email. Isn't that wild? They didn't even predict the internet. I didn't even think of that one till now. Yeah, see? They didn't think of a phone this way. We'll go over all those things that didn't come true. Boy, Ma, you really know how to hydrate a pizza, huh? That movie had so many bad plot. Like, they left Jennifer, the girl, like, the doc puts the thing to her. She's like, I'm going to see where I'm married. And then he puts the thing up to her face, and he's like, she should know this. Da, 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 da. Why'd you bring her along for it? And he goes, well, I had no choice. She was right there. And he goes, don't worry, she's not part of my plan. And Marty goes, well, you're the doc. That's how you know everything's going to be okay when he says, you're the doc. We must succeed. Love that movie, though. Part 3 was fun, too. A lot of people don't like Part 3. I thought it was great. All of them were. It's almost the if not the perfect trilogy. I mean, it's the first 3 Star Wars movies. Come on. There's nothing better than that. That's at the top. For me. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit of UFOs too. I'm glad you could be here. It is Monday going into Tuesday. We got Monday Night Football starting in about an hour. So tonight, we're getting right out of here as the clock strikes about 50-ish, 8:50-ish Eastern. Yeah, so, or so, depending on how things are. But let's do a little quick roll call. Right? Can we do that? We can do a little roll call. All right. The man with the leg, Ben, the Yorkshire Griffonian. Everybody give him an alien blessing. Hurt his knee, I think. Dislocated it. I know, I told everybody. Hope you feel better. Hey, that's that Griffonian blessing, man. This is family, brother. Everybody's going to give you the right vibe. That knee's going to heal 7 to 10 days quicker because of this. We'll do it every night if we have to. Welcome to the show. And the knee, too. David Wilcox, not Wilcock. Welcome to the show. How you doing, man? Samo, Goophonian. That's right. We never forget, Rockstar. Welcome. What do you say, Chris Christopherson? Doesn't work. Welcome to the show. Zach Diecast Montu. Welcome to the show there, brother. Good to see you. There's the man. Ice Cream Shots. How you doing, brother? Hey, I did a show Saturday night because I had 3 days off. I'm not going to be back doing at the same time. It's just, maybe I will. Maybe at 8 o'clock. Nah, I don't know. Saturday will probably move it to 9. It depends if there's UFC match on. And every Saturday there is. So we'll see. Probably maybe early, even 5-ish. Saturday's up in the air. But we won't try to impose too much. Anyway, we may have to. It's the way it is, man. I'm sorry. Diane Boss, the boss. Welcome to the show. The boss of Goof On. Intergalactic Angler, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Jeanette, the angel of Goof On. She's here, and she is the angel. Welcome to the show. Joe Monk's here. Rich, it's a long-time listener. I want to know if there's an update on your spoon. Oh, no way. No, well, I can't say nothing has happened. I have a haunted spoon. It's the truth. This spoon is like 105, 8, 10 years old. It was my ex-wife's grandfather's, and it was part of a Tiffany collection of silverware. And she had this spoon at her house when I moved in with her. And I started using the spoon for my iced tea because it's a cool shape. And I like that it's heavy. And I'd wash it off, rinse it off, put it back on the mat, and then I'd use it all day. So I didn't have to keep using spoons. So I'm sitting on the couch one day in our house. We moved into a house. This is about a year later in 2006. And I see a reflection out of the peripheral of my eye. Behind me is the kitchen. And then it morphs into the little eating area and then the living room. And I'm slowly turning around because I see this thing shimmying on the wall on the side. And in the reflection of the window, I see where the microwave is. It's a microwave that's up top, has the light underneath it. The light was on. The spoon was on the mat on the stovetop. But when I looked in the reflection, it was in the air. And I turned around real fast and it fell. And then it bounced off the stovetop, landed on the floor. And my wife was upstairs. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "You're not going to believe this." And she's like, "No way," and that spoon has been the subject of several, if not, I'd have to say at least a dozen or so times where I'd wake up in the middle of the night hearing the silverware drawer come out and the spoon is sticking halfway out of the drawer. So I actually tied I know I'm so stupid, but I did put a camera there, and for 3 days, nothing happened. And I'm like thinking, okay, wait a minute. It knows when what is this thing, We don't know. Her grandfather died a long time ago. The history of the spoon is just that. It was his. So I think it's him. He doesn't like that I use it, and didn't like that I was married to his granddaughter. I don't know. We got along. So, I'm just trying to think what's with this spoon. Then I started thinking, well, what if this spoon has another owner? But I never looked into it because I don't know where to go. And we talked about it, can't figure it out, and not much has happened. I did hear the drawer, as a matter of fact, several weeks ago, but I sat there, I listened. There was even one time where I recorded, thought I heard it, and nothing happens. Anytime I turn on a recorder or I stop to listen, nothing happens anymore. But I think I hear it sometimes trying to move and shit, and I'm like, nah. You just freaked me out, dude. I just remembered. Today was the first day since February that I took the spoon out and washed it. Because I don't drink iced tea anymore. Because, it doesn't really work with a diabetic. And, holy shit, this is bizarre. You just blew my mind. What are the odds? Man. Oh, that is so cool. That's right. My mother's coming over tomorrow. So I decided to detail the kitchen and the bathrooms because she's a fanatic about cleanliness and I wanted it to be perfect. So, I'm going through the drawer and even cleaning forks, getting spots off and shit because it's like that. But I like to impress as well. I don't want people seeing that shit, spots. And if she wants to use something, she can feel comfortable. That's amazing. Anyway, let's move on because that is just bizarre, Joe Monk, that you brought that up, man. Thank you for that. So cool. Just the coincidence. How does that happen? I don't look at the reason I know it's February because I got sick around Valentine's Day. And I remember I took it out for Gatorade and I accidentally made sugar Gatorade instead of sugar-free. And I used the spoon. Yeah, that was the last time. All right. If I didn't say her name for the intro, I talk too much. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we got a lot of show to go over. So, let's get started. Man, that's crazy. And if you want to help support Goof On, we are supported by you, the viewer. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description. You guys know what to do. And everything goes back into the show. Yeah. It does. It supports the stream. It supports everything. All right. So I have to do it. Hey, tomorrow we got a good one for you here. Doc Skinner's going to come back on. Well, he was supposed to be on last Wednesday. I got sick. As Michael Roser from Dark Hour Paranormal was supposed to be here last Thursday, he can't make it this week, but next week. So I'm going to have Doc on tomorrow. It's going to be good. Yeah, he's got so many things to say, and they're interesting, and I'm afraid to talk about them. But we're going to get into a lot of the the conspiracy surrounding the fire, Lahaina. We're going to talk about that. Or maybe, I mean, we are going to brush up on that and direct energy weapons, things that are supposed to be happening very soon that he's privy to. Things that we don't talk about here because it's a lot of conspiratorial stuff, but a lot of it comes true. You know, like a World War III is going to happen in November. So I'm just using that as an example. You know, it may or may not happen, but it was mentioned and everybody like, see? You know. Yeah, life is what you make of it. If you didn't spend 1 minute of your day, if you didn't watch social media, the news, I tell you, you would never have an issue with anything. You would just live your life, go shopping, notice the price changes, be like, freaking inflation. You know, what do you need to know if you're not going to vote or you're not going to do anything about it? You know, you can just be a lemming like the rest of us. I'm a lemming. I follow what's supposed to be done, even though I'm mad and angry. How often do we get out there and express ourselves? Rarely, if ever, right? And especially when you get older, you know, you don't want to get in those crowds and stomped on. I can barely walk straight right now. But, yeah, man, it's like, I don't know where I was going with that. It's a lot of things I want to say here we can't say, but I have to play the reminder, everybody.
The Department of Defense, ironically enough, to finish the very mission they gave me in the first place. I didn't ask for it. I'm not a UFO guy. I'm not a ufologist. I never have been. I never will be. I'm a counterterrorism and counterespionage guy. I do counterintelligence, counterinsurgencies. That's what I do. And it just so happens that in 2008, I was asked to apply those same skill sets into the UFO community.
Thanks, Lou. Just a little reminder to let you know that Elizondo does not have our best interests at heart. There's a lot to talk about. This is tough. This is tough. So, you know, Grush is being attacked, right? Apparently, UFO hate groups are attacking him. Where? Who? You know, I don't see it. Everybody talks about it. I don't see those specific threats or things that people are supposedly saying towards Grush. Yes, people are voicing their opinion, saying, I don't believe it, a liar, not a real whistleblower. I'd like to know who, you know. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Oh. Where? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to have to get back to you on this. Oh my God. This is, yeah, you know, oh my God. I just read something. Nah. All right. That I'll have to come back to that. Not tonight, though. Tomorrow, maybe. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. All right, let's pull this up here. The Mexican UFO hearing is tomorrow. Is that going to be on TV? Because I'll go live if they go live. Isn't it tomorrow? I mean, it is tomorrow, but is it on TV? Or let's see, Jaime Maussan. Yeah, Ryan Graves will be there. Robert Salas will be there. Okay. Roni Tado, Vernet Braga, whatever. Yoshiharu Asakawa, member of the House of Representatives of Japan, participating in the UFO hearing. Julio Darwish, founder of the Association for Observations of UAP of Mexico, sharing insights on UFO sightings. Avi Loeb. Jaime Maussan, a prominent researcher on UAPs in Mexico, instrumental in organizing the UFO hearing. These experts and witnesses will contribute to a comprehensive discussion, advancing our understanding of UAPs, UFOs. We may get official disclosure. The only way that would happen, right? So they're doing it. You know, they're talking about the UFOs and they're, you know, just like they're all sitting there. And then all of a sudden you hear dun, 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 dun. And, you know, there's intense music. The lights go down. The curtain opens up. Boom. Aliens rush in. Or a UFO is brought on stage or in front of everybody. Or they start showing us real UFO videos. Or they start showing us of, you know, interactions with aliens. Anything is possible on live streams. I was going to say live television. I don't know if it's live TV, but it's somewhere live. Oh my God, man. That's the only way disclosure is going to happen, just so you know. How fun would that be? Man, that'd be the greatest day ever. It would be so freaking awesome. It's not fair. It's not fair that we're kept in the dark. Everybody knows, right? We all know there's something up there that's not natural to us. I think, you know, I was thinking about this while I was laying there in the hospital. The beings, these entities, let's say, I'm getting a feeling lately, I don't know where it's coming from, that maybe I've been misinterpreting what's been going on. You know, we heard Bob Lazar talk about found these at archaeological dig sites. Grush testified to that, but I'm just saying, it's out there in the ether, because we know Greer said it. We've heard this one say it, and Linda Moulton Doty and everybody else got it. What if they're so indigenous to the planet, they're like the planet itself? You know what I mean? That it doesn't make sense, I know. Because why would it be, if it's the planet, it'd be rocky, watery, cloudy, misty, soggy, right? It would be the elements. Am I forgetting something? I feel like I forgot to do something today. I did the intro. We're here. I introduced what we're talking about. I'm forgetting something. Until then, keep rolling. See? Look, the ocean is so big. It's 3/4 of the earth. We only know under 10% of it. They could be anywhere. Literally anywhere. I'm not buying the interdimensional stuff, but what if there's a way that this indigenous alien being of Earth itself is able to disappear and maybe can show us things that aren't really there? See that this no nope. You see, this is why I do this. It can't be that. So it can't be that. That wouldn't make sense. All right, so it's not that. Earth energy. See, when my ex-wife and I saw that ball of light, at first we thought there were people in the backyard, and there was fear. When it came into the house through the window, all the fear went away for some reason. And we talked about that till 5 a.m. All the fear went away, and we were curious, but we never moved. And neither did the dog. The dog didn't charge at it. You know, it growled at first, but when it came through the window and it passed in front of us, and we were looking right at it, I mean, you can tell it was 3D. You can tell it was 3D. It was here. But we weren't scared. And we talked about that afterwards. And she's like, why weren't we scared? Why didn't we grab a baseball bat, call 911? Right? I'm like, I think we were just in shock because of what we saw. And it's such an amazing thing that happened to us. That's why I know there's something out there because of that. Just like some of you, when you tell me your stories and you say the same thing, you're not going to believe this, but it happened. I believe some of you. I do. Probably more than that. Because I can tell when people are bullshitting a lot of the time. Sometimes I can't. Can't tell in an email. But when you talk to people and they tell you their experience and you've had it, and then they tell you what they felt, and you're sharing those same exact feelings almost at the same time. When you saw it, how did you feel when you saw it? I went from this to this. So did I. Yeah, that always was interesting to us. Like, can it control us? Whatever it is. Remember my dream, my waking alien thing? I'll be in your head before you wake up. When I heard the whatever it was say that in my ear. See? Trying to connect these dots. There's so many dots that I've connected. I'm sorry. I'm just like thinking, like, just amazing stuff like that's happened. And just no evidence. I mean, there's evidence. I want you to listen to this. I want you to listen to what Richard Doty says, because a lot of people are believing this guy. So I'm going to play a minute of this. It's from UFOs and strange stuff on TikTok. And I see the super chats. I'll get them in a moment. Thank you. I'll be right there. Well, I already brought up my screen. Damn it. All right. So let's take a watch. I think this is what I want you to watch. Just because he says something about the aliens. Here we go.
These beings are small. They're 4 foot 5. And these beings can get through smaller space than we can, a normal size human. And there's not steps, it's a ramp. And it's a very strange material on the ramp.
Not steps, it's a ramp. He upgrades it to make the story better.
Because when you put your feet on the ramp instantly moves.
See, you don't walk on this ramp. You just stand on it, grabs your feet, and it takes you where you want to go. It's a beautiful thing. All right, I know I'm being an ash, but that's kind of what he does. You know, well, listen to this.
So you don't have to climb up the ramp. It takes you up, it transports you up there. And I don't know that they, at least in 1987, they couldn't understand exactly how that thing worked because they couldn't take it apart. They could not figure it out.
It was seamless.
It's seamless, exactly. When you first walk in, you're up this ramp, you're in the control center. Now, this craft is not that big, 20 feet by something. I can't remember exact dimension.
Does it make sense to have the big door open up to your command center, to have the elements of the earth just rush in the door and smack into your console unit? Does that sound like a smart thing to do? Yeah, I know what you're going to say. They have exceptional filtration. I know.
Dimensions. And there's seating positions for all the beings, the occupants. And they don't have a control panel. They have places they place their hands into, or their digits. And there's a screen, a smaller screen for them to look at.
They have the same technology we do. Same thing. Same thing. Touch screen. Anyway. He's saying stuff, but he's saying nothing. Ooh. Oh, I stand on this thing and it takes me where I've been on a floor escalator before. I mean, I know this one grabs you with the magical thing. I get it. And they couldn't take it apart and look at it. Loophole. Because loophole. Seamless. No nuts and bolts. Nothing. Every day? Every day. Who are these people? Jeanette. Jeanette with a £5, $5. I'm sorry. Scratch that, Jurassic Erase. It's a £5, £5 super sticker. It's mucho gusto generoso this evening with the Angel of Goof on. Thank you, Jeanette, for everything. And a mucho gusto generoso, as always. And Glenn Croy throwing down a $20 super dono. Yikes, man. Thank you. That is freaking generous, right? It's his dono. It's the love. You can't put a price on that. It's beautiful, man. Thank you very much. And I appreciate the continuing support as well. Seriously. Mucho gusto generoso. Glenn Croy. And a message came in from PayPal. It's so... Jeanette. That's really sweet of you. And you know what? That is more than generous. Jeanette just did something that was smart, if that's how you want to do it. She just nailed, because she usually donates $15 a day on PayPal. So she just put all 60 in. And I thought that was very, very smart and nice. And thank you for that. I appreciate it. Well, it is a gift, you said. Thank you. It's a very nice and thoughtful gift. Mucho gusto generoso. Again. I know. I stopped the show for super chats and super stickers and PayPals. It's important that we acknowledge everyone who supports us. I think so. And, we've tried to do it at halfway through the show, 15 minutes, at the end of the show, nothing worked because people want to leave messages. And then by the time the end of the show comes and they're like, hey, you were talking about Roswell. And that was like 6 hours ago. So we just do it when they come in. And that's that. Wow. 17 months. That's from the beginning. Hey, Rich and everyone, Paula Faust says, you are awesome. I enjoy your channel. Live long and prosper. Thank you. I can't do it anymore. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. I can't do it on this hand. I haven't done that in a while. Wow. Thanks, Paula. There are a couple of new members videos that were put up recently. So in case you're a member and you haven't seen them, maybe you want to see what's going on. And tomorrow, I will be making Wednesday's members video. So that'll be good. But back to the show. Back to the show. Back to the show. Well, let's get to... No. I have to say something right now. Look, some of you don't know the past of Goof On. Some of you have been here from the beginning. When I was doing just the live stream without video, pretty much can say anything you want, right? And I went hard after people. I said a lot of stuff, made a lot of enemies, but I was not lying. You know, everything was backed up with evidence of some sort. But the transition was very interesting, coming over from just doing live streams on like Blog Talk Radio, or what's that other one with, I can't remember the name. But do you guys know who Deep Prasad is? This is a guy who said he's got I think like some kind of physics degree and all this shit. And then he said he was abducted and he's got these experiences. We found out, me broke the story first, that when we first came on as Goof On, we only had 400 subscribers when this came out. And Deep Prasad was being let go by this company because he lied about where he worked or got his degree, false documents or something. People found out he lied about his abduction experiences. He was trying to do what Anjali is doing now, believe it or not. But he was trying to say he had these brains. And at the time, I think he was only 17, 18 years old. So imagine, you know, from that side of the world, you know what I mean? Somebody with that mindset, thinking they're smarter than everybody else, is going to come into the UFO community and try to make a name for himself by saying he's got this degree and these experiences. Well, he's back. Yeah, he's still out there. I can't believe it. That's what Goof On, you know, some other channel out there, you know, goes after people and does a whole show on it. That's what we were basically doing, right? We were the original to do that. The AZ UFO show. Everybody else just a copycat. Just so you know where you're at. It's true. But here he is. Here he is. Deep Prasad, who is working with the world's first quantum computers, that's gotta be a lie, talks about his alien encounter with George Knapp, which has gotta be a lie. And I'm gonna find out. He's also into reverse engineering UFOs. Absolutely, this guy is the enemy. The enemy.
It's like the universe reaches out and grabs you by the throat. Tell me about the experience.
Basically, so this is 9:40 in the morning, and I'm in my room, just like sitting against my headboard and sending emails on my laptop. And I put down my laptop for just a second to pick up my phone, and as soon as I do that, I get this like, it's like I knew exactly what would happen next. That's the weirdest part. One of the weirdest parts about
it. Yeah, it's called deja vu.
I felt like I knew that I'm about to go through an experience, and I'm even going to call it an abduction because that's the best word that my brain can come up with. This all came to me within half a second, or maybe milliseconds.
He's been known to plagiarize other people's experiences and turn them into his. Just letting you know who you were just looking at. But that episode I did on Goof On was the beginning of the end with me and Dave Scott. Dave Scott promised me he was going to give me this evidence that was going to nail Deep Prasad to the wall. I mean, I even got dressed up, did my hair and everything. Didn't even wear a hat for this show because there was going to be a lot of people there. And there was. And Dave didn't give me the evidence. He blew me off. And that was one of the hardest shows I ever did, with very little evidence backing up my claims. I had to do another show about it and then come back with the evidence. It was awful. That was the beginning of the end of that relationship. He probably forgot all about that one. All right. All right, let's talk about the movies or movies. We could even talk about other movies in history that made predictions not too far into the future, 30, 20 years, but they got it wrong, horribly wrong. And I want to know why. I think I know why. Some of you will go back and say, oh yeah, Star Trek. Everybody uses Star Trek as the greatest example of what the future was going to look like. They had the doors that opened up, right? When you got close to them. That recorder thing, whatever you call it, the iPhone, flip phone, right? They had that. They had the on-screen, right? The LCD. Yep, they came up with a lot of stuff that actually came true. Even laser weapons. That's not like Star Wars or Star Trek yet. But we do have laser weapons, and they work rather well, but it's not like a pulse, it's not like that. So it is, but it isn't, all right? It doesn't look like it. But there were movies that actually put things into them that I thought, like Back to the Future. I didn't think we would have power laces or even hydrating a pizza, but I thought for sure we'd have flying cars in 30 years. See, the thing is, I think technology has peaked. I was talking with Michael Roser about this. Things are invented, and then things get refined, and then they can get smaller and better and smaller until, what's next? And I asked him, what has come out after the iPhone that was so groundbreaking for the world, for all of us? Something that the public can use and enjoy. The iPhone was the last thing that I believe was the last greatest invention in recent times. I can't, look, I'm not talking about medical breakthroughs. Of course, those are different. I'm talking about, all right, everybody's talking about we should have flying cars and hoverboards and all this shit, and we don't. Why? Why aren't we living on the moon? Why did we all of a sudden just stop going after 6 visits? Right? Oh, because we were warned not to go back. Maybe not, but we went anyway. China did. Japan sent some shit up there. Right? Bounced off even Israel, I think. I don't know. I mean, Iran? So far away. Anyway, so I got some, let me pull this up here. There were a lot of things in Back to the Future 2 that you would have thought would have come true, like the flying car, the adjustable fabric, jacket sizing, drying mode on. Remember that thing? And how about the hologram shark from Jaws 26? Shark still looks fake. Huh? How come we don't have that kind of advertising flowing in our worlds? In this world? Why? I really want to know. Why? All right. So I got to see the way they're doing this now. Hold on. I got to pull it up here. I've got a way I was going to do this tonight. And I thought, see, from cell phone YouTube to desktop YouTube, I don't like that it's so different. Because I wanted to use, they're the movie you could watch on YouTube for free. But it's broken up into like 60 pieces of 5 minutes each, something like that, right? But I know I could play 5 or 10 seconds out of each of these. So let me see first time. See, it's in my history. It should be in my history. So, because I purposely watched it for 10 seconds so it would register. So here it is. And when I clicked on it, it did not seem like it brought me to the right place. It's not. But I'll play this. Oh, you mother's knuckles. Get out of there. That's not it. All right, I want to show you something. When I saw this movie, how old was it? 89 this came out? It's 21, 20. When the original movie came out in 85, I was 17. And I know a lot of guys out there who really wanted this truck. Remember this? That badass 4x4? Yeah, what, we become assholes? No, Marty, it's your kids. Your kids, Marty. Yep, we don't have those kind of visors yet. A flying, hey, Marty. Hey, Marty. I got a flying DeLorean. What?
Flying DeLorean?
Yeah. Flying DeLorean. See, and now it should give me all the clips to the movie, and they're not here on the side like it is on my phone. See, I don't like that. It's not cool, man. Not cool at all. Full movie, Rotten Potatoes. Here it is. Oh, I got to hit play all. There we go. All right. All right. All right. Let's go to a scene. Here's the flying cars. Sorry, kids. And they're back. They're in the future. October 21st, 2015. Do you remember when when we were waiting for that? We're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm going to be like 50, man. Something like that. We're going to have flying cars and power laces, and back retractor and phones on our faces and we're going to have lithium, man. All right. So they hide Jennifer. Marty, don't look at nothing. Oh, this is what we didn't have. They don't have the rejuvenation. This is one of the things. They don't have this where, you just rip your face off after having some plastic done, although very funny. And we haven't abolished all lawyers yet. We still have lawyers. Let me do this. Lawyers are still available. Now that they've abolished all lawyers, Don't look at nothing, Marty. Don't talk to anyone. What am I supposed to do? Just remember, just say no. And I think Biff has a few of his bionics or something like that. We just can't leave Jennifer here. That's okay. It'll be only a few minutes. They take her out. They put her on the bump over there with the garbage. Marty! Hey, Doc. This is what happens. You got to do this. Your kids get arrested. Your daughter gets arrested trying to break your kid out of prison. Yeah, it's bad. Hey, the kid looks just like me. Hill Valley. This is when he first enters it and he sees the chevron. What is it? Texaco. See, that's a funny reference they made in the movie. Back in the 40s and 50s, you know, people used to come out from the gas station and check your oil, wipe your car down. And then they had this. Yeah. So they were doing the future version of that. There's the shark, Jaws 19. Shark still looks fake.
Shark still looks fake.
And then Goldie Wilson. You can get a hovercraft for $99,999.99. 100,000. A hover conversion kit for $100,000. Can you imagine? Look at this shit. Computers. We still have those. Lava lamps, yes. Perrier, yes. A Magnavox shaver, yes. So far, oh, look at, here's Jaws. All right, we're getting to the things I want to talk about. Here, all right, we'll start with the Cafe 80s. Welcome to the Cafe 80s. Try the special. Try the special. Oh, you mean you have to use your hands? Remember the video game? So we don't have self-serving yet, right? Although it's coming. AI, it's coming. Yep, but it's not going to be like this. Although, you know, nice thought. Nice thought. Did you see him? There's Biff right here. You try to beep, 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 beef.
Where it's always morning in America.
Even if it's nighttime. Why don't you try the special? All I want is a Pepsi. We don't have any of those yet. Not a dispensary like that. A dispensary. A dispenser. Yeah, you're Marty's kid. Threw his life away. Hello. Hello, McFly. Hits him on the head with the cane. And then in the background, Griff shows up. So we don't have these hats either. These hats haven't made it yet. Have they? Grandpa! I'm supposed to be 2 coats of wax on my car. I was just finishing up the second coat now. Something like that. So he goes and he tries Wild Gunman. 30 years later, Wild Gunman. I thought this was a good touch in the movie, but you mean you have to use your hands? Just say no. All right. Ooh, because you got no scrote. Remember that? This kid's a wuss. Keep peddling, you two. The answer's no, Griff. What are you, deaf and stupid? Well, when did you become the physical type? The answer's no. And then he's got the big, what are you, chicken? And then the bat raises. And this is the greatest telegraph scene in movie history. He comes at him like the slowest swing in history. Then he stands up. He looks, hey, what is that? And then he grabs his fist and he goes, nope, I'm bionic. Oh, just kicks him in the ding ding and knocks 3 people down. It's amazing. See, knocks them all down. And And then he's waxing the car. The kid sees the kids on that. And this is a hoverboard? Right? There we go. That we all thought. The one thing I didn't like is that the foot never touched the ground, especially when 3 of the bullies were attached to the pit bull. But here he wipes out. There's the pit bull. Oh, no, that's not the pit bull. Hey, hoverboards don't work on water unless you've got power. Dun, 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 and he throws it down. Right? Remember? So vicious, this part. Biff actually tried to kill Marty in this movie. Several times. Several. Batter up! And he's going to go after him. And then, of course, another telegraph scene. And he misses. Yeah, we're getting to the good stuff. Don't worry. Here you go, kid. Here's your hoverboard. You can keep it. I got a pit bull now, she says. Remember the little girl? Jacket drying. Jacket mode. Drying mode on. Jacket is dry. Huh. Then he laughs about that. She says, keep it. I got the pit bull now. Hey, kid, why don't you donate $100 to the clock tower? 100 years ago or 30 years or 60 years ago, it got struck by lightning. What did you just say? 60 years ago, it got struck by lightning. The World Series. If I could go back and put money, I'd put money on the Cubbies. What did you just say? I'd go back and put money on the Cubbies because they won the World Series, and he got the idea for the Gray Sports Almanac. And look, see this? We have those. If you ever go to an Apple store or T-Mobile, they check you out with these little computers in their hands. They do all the work right there. They grab your credit card, they slide it. It's almost the same thing. Now look at this thing. That's kind of funny looking. And there it is. Have you ever heard of a dustbuster? I can't lose, he says. Marty, I'm going to pull around. All right, Doc. Meanwhile, all right. I'm trying to look for stuff, guys. I didn't realize it was going to be like this, but I'm just doing the whole movie here. No. Sorry. Can't have a full screen. You're not allowed. All right. We all know what happens here. Oh, she lives at Hilldale. What's she doing out here? Wow, that's one hell of a makeover, they say, because, she's 30 years younger. And they fly by. It's the worst graphics I've ever seen in a movie. CGI, whatever you want to call it. The skyway's jammed. And then he says, and we are not going to use the time machine to make money. And then they threw it away right into the trash. And good old Biff from the 50s was right there. And the rest, as they say, is history. So they bring her home to Hilldale, where she's living in the future. And, there are smart homes out there that have, you say, I could turn on my lights, but I have to say, hey, goose, I have to use that schmoogle. But I could do it. Turn on the air conditioning, the TV. I don't have a smart home, but I have I have some smart appliances, smart light bulbs, and smart outlet. So we see some of that here, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. This isn't saying we have hidden alien technology somewhere. That's the kind of technology I think we should be seeing. We should be living on the moon if we're not already, right? Because they said there's 2 NASAs, I thought. Well, anyway, that's secret space program, guys. Shh. Oy. All right, let's move on. And then she says lights are on, and she finds out that this is the house she lives in, that she got married at the Chapel o' Love. It wasn't a big wedding. She sees the kids walking around upstairs. Mom, is that you? Mom, is that you? And it's actually Michael J. Fox dressed up as his daughter. And then there's the, father. All right, here we go. God damn, Marty. I'd like Doc to go, you prick, Marty. You cocksucker. I don't think anything's happened in this clip. All right, let's jump. All right, so just like in the movie Total Recall, there's another movie that you could say, well, it's the future, but not 30 years. Maybe how many years was Total Recall into the future? Or was that whole thing just a created universe? I think it was just a made up world, right? It was Earth, but the whole thing was just what if. But these wall windows, they have them, but not in a regular home. It's a lot of money, and it should be cheap and easy technology, so much so they break down, like here. So she's listening, all this stuff going on. Doc and Marty pull up, and then Biff somehow finds them, goes over there and grabs the DeLorean, somehow knows how to operate it, goes back to November 12th, 1955, hands the book to himself, and gets back in time before anybody sees him. One of the dumbest things I've ever seen written in a movie. It can't happen. It wouldn't happen. Marty would have heard him, the car take off. He was only 60 feet away from it. I hate that part of the movie. I wish they never put it in, but anyway, he comes home as a 48-year-old man. He goes, why are you guys touching the lithium? They don't have air conditioning. They use lithium, I guess. And there we go. Next scene. Now, this is where she hydrates a pizza. She puts it in the pizza oven as a little nugget. See, I'm actually glad we don't have it. I don't want that. I don't want food that's going to expand when you hydrate it. What if it goes in my stomach and expands again? Well, you know me and my stomach. Anything's possible with this acidic bastard. And look how good it comes out. It's like Domino's. Yeah, I know. Domino's is trash. Hey, Mom, we're like a couple of high school kids. I'm really worried about Jennifer. She hasn't come home yet. They haven't called the police, even though she's already there. Needles from high school, maintained friends, sets Marty up. He gets fired for trying to make a deal without getting approval. He scans his card, and then Fujimitsu calls him back and says, McFry! Fuji-itsu. Well, anyway. I just verified that fax or something like that. Now you're fired. Read my fax. You're fired. I'm fired. Fired. See? And then Doc finds Jennifer. Put your thumb up to the plate on the door. That's how you open the door. We don't have thumbprint plates on front doors. Yes, they're available, but not in mass quantity. Not everybody has them. So they get Jennifer. They get back in the time machine. I'm looking for the future. What have we talked about so far? Because now they go into the alternate 1985. So we're not in the future anymore. I thought there was a lot of stuff. I thought there was like 14 things wrong with this movie that I found out that didn't have the technology I thought we should have. And, all right, maybe making a point here very slightly, but a point indeed. I think our technology has stalled. I think 30 years ago, they thought we would have these cool things that would just be, yes, it's a movie, granted. I know that. I know it. But believe me, they tried very hard to really figure out what the future was going to be like. And they got some things right and a lot wrong. But that's how you create things. And things are imagined. And with that imagination comes creation. And with that creation, you could change humanity. That's the kind of technology I'm looking for. Since the iPhone, I can't think of anything. Self-driving cars, could care less. I'm driving. I don't want a self-driving car. I love driving. Take that freedom away from me, you lazy pricks. What else? AI? Don't care. Not interested. It's coming and it's going to destroy us all. You'll see. I won't be here, but you'll be here. Well, maybe you won't, but it won't be long. Glenn Croy throwing it down. $10. And the 20 earlier? Was that you? Oh, did I get that wrong? Thank you very much for the $10 super dono. Hey, man. Truthology for ufology. Appreciates that kind of support. Thank you so much. No, really. What's that? I'm checking. No. Thank you, Glenn Croy. Throwing it down. Throwing it down hard. Appreciate it. It's a super dono, too. Greatest. Hey, that UFO chick. How you doing? D's House Genetics. Abe Froman's here. Donovan. YOY Fools. Good to see you guys. Gals. Dorothy, how are you? Sky Allen, Truth Entertainment, Arrows Andy. Good to see everybody hanging out tonight. Tomorrow night I have Doc Skinner coming on. I'm telling you, it is going to be fantastic tomorrow. I just know it. We had a great conversation. I hope we didn't burn ourselves out over a week ago. I love talking to Doc. See, I think Doc would be a great co-host. If I was to have a co-host, it would be him or Michael Roser. I wonder if Doc would do co-host with me. It's food for thought. So here's a thought. I have another channel called Goof on Lives. It's a backup channel, but I want to keep it activated. And I'm looking for a way to take the hidden gems in each show, clips, those 30-second, 1-minute clips, the shorts, and make Goof on Shorts over there. Goof on Shorts. That sounds funny to me, and I like it. I don't know why, but Goof on Shorts. So it's something that might happen right away or in 3 months. But trying to figure out a way that it doesn't weigh me down. Because I am going to be doing a lot of stuff around the state. As early as this weekend. The sad thing is, I can't get into it. All right. So, Back to the Future gave us an insight for me to what I think they thought the future would look like, but it isn't. Now, we can look at other movies. The question is, why aren't we there? See, I don't think we have alien technology. Let me say that again. I mean, Jurassic erase. I don't think we have working alien technology. What I think we have is, because if you listen to what Bob Lazar said, and he's the only one who said he's worked on anything that would know, right? Right? And other people saw UFOs, and they all say the same thing. There's no rivets, there's no screws, no nuts, no bolts. It's like molded from... So how do you break something down? You have to use a saw or dynamite, right? How do you back engineer something that isn't made with the same shit from your planet? You hear a lot of this. You hear, we're all made from the same elements. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 minute. I don't believe that every single element has been found. And I believe that there's tons of elements out there yet. Because different situations, different pressures, different size of things, the gravitational pull of something on who knows what, it's endless possibilities. And I don't believe that these are aliens from another planet. I think they're from here, from a very long time ago. As a matter of fact, they may have always been active. Maybe they've never disappeared. Maybe that's why people see these lights, have these visitations and whatnot. I just don't see, if you take, I did the math on this, out of all the sightings and things that people have said, if the reality of it is, it's not 10% of things that are explained. It's not 95% of things explained. For me, it's 98 to 99% of everything is explained or explainable, and there may be 1 to 2% chance that it's something we'll never find the answer to. That's what interests me. So, such a small percentage, but yet it still adds up. If you do the math with all the sightings that happen worldwide, it still adds up to several thousand apparent abductions and people who said they've had continual experiences. Okay, so we have, let's say, 1,500 cases and still no evidence. You mean to tell me out of every one, we still don't have it? The aliens, whatever you want to call them, the indigenous ones, the sky people, angels. I like angels. Guardian angels. Because I believe that's what they are. I believe it's guardians of us, in a way. Why would they zip around in metallic craft that look like Tic Tac? Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. Maybe it's just part of their technology. Or it's us. Yeah. Anything that's made out of metal is probably us. Anything that looks like it's molded from an ceramic egg that glows and changes color. That's an archaeological dig site find. That's an ADF. ADF all the way. It's a tough business we're in. I got to play this for you. I interviewed Bob Dean a long time ago. Robert O. Dean, remember that guy? He's passed away now. I walked out of his house saying, biggest bullshit artist I ever met. And it's only been a year and a half I was in the field. But You got to hear this. I hope it plays where I need it to. I listened to this earlier today, but I think right in the beginning, he just says some stuff.
Sometimes there are secrets that need to be kept secret. But this particular issue is so important to you as citizens of this country and as citizens of the human race, members of the human race, and citizens of this planet, that there's nothing more important than that, and I purposely and intentionally violate my oath with a good feeling because I believe that not only do you people have a need to know, you have a right to know, because you're the ones that are paying the bills. And
we do not have a right to know. You think we do, but we don't. We pay the government to do two things: keep us safe and don't scare the shit out of us. I wonder if they so far he didn't say anything I'm against.
And I'm a believer in the constitutional system. I see the constitutional system being stomped upon. I see that document, which is so precious to us, being ignored.
30 years ago.
And the time has come for we, the people of this country,
25
to
years
reclaim
ago.
our rights, reclaim our Constitution, and damn well force the government that we are supporting and paying the bills for to own up, fess up, and finally, after over 40 years, tell us the damn truth about this issue.
40 years back then. 30 years ago that was. Isn't that funny? We're saying the same exact things now. Doesn't matter if Robert O'Dean is saying it. I didn't say everything he said is bullshit. I just think he lives in fantasy land and supports a little bit of the bullshit for his own financial needs. Sorry, I saw a bullshitter. Not every bullshitter is lying every single time they speak. What he's saying here is truthful because we're saying it today. And we're going to say it as long as the secret's going to be held from us. So, how do we break through? I say it every night. How do we break through? You know what I almost said and I stopped myself? Now I'm going to tell you why I didn't say what I was going to say by telling you what I was going to say. I was going to say, see why Lou Elizondo got frustrated and left the government because that. And then I stopped myself because I'm like, wait a minute, that's Lou Elizondo. That's lying Lou. Why would I believe anything he said? Sorry. So that's why. Now you know. All right, let's see give him another 30 seconds here because I liked what he said. I want to see if anything still holds true today. For another minute.
I think I'm preaching to the choir here, and it's a good feeling. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's also important that you understand who I am and where I came from and how I came to be here. I spent most of my adult life as a professional soldier. I spent 27 years on active duty in the United States Army. And for most of those years, I was in the infantry. I was in special operations, special assignments. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a fact that I have been places I should not have been, and I have done things I should not have done. But I served my country loyally, and I still believe in my country, and I love my country, and I love the Constitution. And that's...
You know, this is why my friend wanted me to interview him. See, this was about 12 years before I got into ufology, so maybe 13 years after when I spoke to him. Maybe he changed, because everything he said here is what I thought I was going to hear when I met the guy. all I heard was a bunch of garbage. And I was new to the field, barely in it a year and a half. And I knew this guy was, and to this day, I still say, some of the things he said towards the last few years, man, sad. But yeah, we're still having the same problems today. So what does that tell you? 30 years ago, right? And here we are doing it again. That's why I say, if you haven't been in this field at least 5 years, you haven't been hurt. You got to be in this field 5-6 years to understand the pain that ufology goes through on the regular. What do I mean by that? It's just, just promise of disclosure, promise of this, promise of that, promise of evidence, promise of something new, promise of somebody changing their story to the truth, promise of this. And it's always the same. We got railroaded. We got shafted. The government's doing everything it can to railroad us. So-and-so lied. Now they want to make money off of it. Now they don't want to give the evidence to the public. That's one thing that bothers me. People who hold on to evidence because they want it to be a story. Just like the Las Vegas UFO sighting. Or, damn it, Las Vegas UFO alien, whatever that thing was. Why did they hold on to it for a month? Because they wanted it to come out simultaneously with the David Grush interview. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. I mean, just unreal. So obvious. What's this? Holy mackerel. Clip your rants over there also. Yeah, well, that's the point. A lot of the stuff that, we do a 2-hour show most of the time. And not everybody sits through the whole show. So anything that's buried within the show, an hour in, 2 hours in, it's not being heard. So I'm going to have to look for the nuggets and the funny stuff and the rants and clip them up. And there's a ton of them. I found tons. I could throw up 10, but I don't know if I want to activate. The channel's still there, obviously, but I don't know if I want all the work. Hey, thanks for the $10 again. Super generoso, super mucho gusto generoso, Glenn, and a very good idea. Thanks for subscribing to Goof on Lives. And Moonlick, hey man, thank you for the $5.50. That's 3 5s. $5.55. Viva la rich, mucho love, Moon and Myra. See? Did you hear it? I didn't do it. That's crazy. That's called good timing. Thank you, Moonlick, and Myra. I don't know why when I thought of Myra's name, I thought of this. You have to see the baby. Why did I think of that? Is Myra pregnant? Thank you, Moonlick. Mucho gusto, generoso, sir. And thank you for posting the Goof On show up on your X feed the other day. That was funny. Thank you for sharing the show. Don't forget to hit the like button out there. We need 150 likes. I know, very weak. Need 50 comments, 150 likes. I know, there's not much to talk about with me. I just do this and then I get out. I know, nobody learns anything. Everything I do is just bullshit. I'm joking. All right. Oh, well, now, we got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. The DoD just released contracts and performance work statement documents for Sandcor. Have you seen this? This corporation was awarded millions of dollars to do work for the DoD's UFO office called Arrow in 2022. Here's what they do for them. Let me show you what they do for the DoD. Let you see. Sandcor! This is a flash release. A flash release is a document release wherein there is no written article attached rather than the document are released for the public to consume right away with the interest of full transparency in the quickest way possible. A more lengthy article and or video breakdown may follow. Make sure you are subscribed, documented below. Here we go. Let me get myself mixed in. It's from John Greenwald. This is a final response to your FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act. So this is what they do. Let me get to it. Let me go here. That's just them acknowledging that he made the FOIA request. Got it. So they wanted the contracts, contract clauses, list of documents exhibited and other attachments, supplies or services and price cost, description, specifications, work statement, packaging and marketing, inspecting and acceptance, deliveries and performance, contract administration data, special contract requirements, and other stuff. Arrow Support Services, the contractor shall provide executive administration support services in accordance with Section 5.2 of the Performance Work Statement, the PWS, the attached documents, and all other requirements listed in this document. Total estimated price. What is this? I don't see anything for that. Supplies and services, nothing there. I don't see any numbers. Arrow Support Services says the same thing. It all says the same. But we're not seeing any purchases. Funding, CLIN, number 4, and the amount of blah, blah, nothing. Okay, these are all the same exact thing without dollar amounts. What are these, donations? The fudge. All right. Of course, I go forward and all shit breaks. Breaks apart. Inspection and acceptance. Boy, this is terrible the way this is set up. Can't open it up. Let me do this. Yep, I had a feeling that was going to happen. This is interesting. Kind of. A little bit. All right. So, supplies, services will be inspected and accepted at. I don't see anything. Payment request and receiving report are defined in the clause. For cost type line items, including labor hour and time and materials, submit a cost voucher. This is really not essential for what I'm doing tonight. Clauses incorporated by reference. Okay, that's cute. Cute. It's a FOIA request. It gives us nothing. That was terrible. Terrible. I understand, that they're saying the DoD released contracts and performance work statement documents for Sandcor. but it didn't show anything. I didn't see anything. Maybe it's me. So Grush is asking others to come forward and disclose now. He says it's not his place to reveal what he knows. Why? That is the most passive aggressive thing I think I've seen so far. This year, that tops it all right there. I don't want to do an interview all by myself for the world to see, not only once, but twice, and then do an extended interview, with somebody else that nobody's seen until today. I don't know if I want to do that, but it's not really my place, to reveal what I know. Dude, you already put what are you talking about? Did he already do it? I don't know. Oh, there's more to come. Yeah, I'm going to have other people tell you stuff that I don't know about or that I heard about, and then they'll get in trouble and I won't. All right, so check this out. This is pretty amazing. There were 4 UFOs that reached Espora from the sea. And one landed on a place where ammunition is. And, well, there was shots fired. Yeah, it is believed that 2 soldiers were injured by one of the UFOs. We received information that the 4 UFOs reached Espora from the sea, and that one landed on a place where ammunition is stored, another on a fort, and the other 2, a little further away, perched on the Bahian sky as if guarding the entire action. They also told us that the objects were black, triangular in shape, and that one, which was resting on the fort, fired with a type of laser that injured 2 or 3 soldiers. Shortly before 9 p.m. on September 5th, audios and videos began to go viral on WhatsApp. What? Where was this? Oh, I was in the hospital. And the consulted authorities had no official information about what is happening. In the video to which this newspaper had access, several people can be heard scared by these explosions. And this happened last Tuesday at the Commandant Espora base. What? Did you guys know about this? Anyone? Here we go again. Shooting at UFOs, right? What did we just have happen recently in the last 3 months? Aliens attack in Peru, aliens in the backyard in Vegas. There was another alien thing earlier in the year in April, right? So we've now had reports of aliens walking on the earth, landing even. Okay. Now, we've just had in Mexico, or where was it, just yesterday or the day before, where they were shooting at UFOs in a war-torn region, right? And these guys just fired at UFOs last Tuesday. You see where this is heading? If anybody doesn't see this, I'll tell you. It's leading to a false flag alien invasion. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Samo. It's where they're trying to lay it into us gently. They put out these stories, they circulate for a day, a week, a month. They put another one out as soon as that story dies down. What did we have happen on that airplane? The crazy lady, right? Gomez, what was her name? Gomes? Tiffany. He is not real, right? Another, that boxer who said he saw what looked like a reptilian on the plane, tried beating it up. People are seeing stuff in the sky on airplanes. They're seeing creatures and people appearing right next to them, and they start freaking out. I'm beginning to believe there's a crack. Something's happened. If you really want to think, I mean, I can get as woo as the next guy. Okay, I can. And believe me, I think about it all on both sides of the spectrum. I try to walk myself through the reality of what if. And I say, you know, this time it seems people totally separate, different countries, different planes, different times of the year. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's almost as if people are planted to act out these supposed I'm seeing aliens, or I'm seeing he's not real. It seems like that is being leaked in. And they're trying to condition us to believe that we may be in danger. The threat. That's it for tonight, man. That's it. Bernie Muro throwing down $2, £2. Thank you. It's a super dono. Can't put a price on love, buddy. Thank you from the heart. Mucho gusto generoso. Bernie Muro, everybody. Thanks, Bernie. Hope you have a good night, too. Thank you very much. Have a safe week. Appreciate it. And, yeah, I don't know why. I just saw it now. That was 12 minutes ago? I was just looking at. Did I already talk about it? Is that what's wrong with me? All right, let's take a look. And that's it for tonight. I'm going to go watch the football game. So I want to thank everybody for an excellent night. Tomorrow, Doc Skinner is going to join me. I'll post it tomorrow around noon. And we'll have an awesome show tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of the night. I hope your team wins if you're going to watch. And we do it here every single night except for Sunday. We do Truthology for ufology for you. All right, be safe out there, be kind to each other, and alien bless.
Just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.